Hello everyone, you're welcome to Zexy Media. You know what we do? We give you all the news stories about our celebrities and public figures. I am Sekina Busari, and today I will be talking about the inspiring story about the life of the late media expert Raymond Dokpesi, the chairman of the Daar Communication, Ait and Rayower, which are the first private media outlets in Nigeria. But before we go into the details, if you're just watching for the first time, do remember to subscribe to my channel by clicking on the subscription button. And if you are returning, thank you for choosing Zexy Media. Because of you, we are growing. Always remember to turn on the notification bell to get notified when I drop my next video. After watching, drop a comment in the comment section to tell us how you feel, and finally like my video. Now to the details. Raymond Dokpesi, the chairman of Daar Communication, who died on the 29th of May 2023, which was the day of the inauguration of a new president, was born on 25th of October 1951. He was hailed from Agenibode in Edo State. He was the only son of 13 children. The mother, who was a petty trader, lost 6 of her children due to the poor medical service of the time. Even Dokpesi himself almost died, as he suffered recurring sickness and was almost handicapped. He could not talk from the beginning of his life. He was crucified and hurt, especially when his father's friend advised he should be disposed. He was subjected to nothing, as his father's friend concluded that no child of a northerners succeed. Apart from the kola nut, the heat, they never do well. He was handicapped, and that was the toughest moment of his life. He was discriminated and felt likely to be denied of the opportunity to live. In a chat with journalists in 2021, the person said, "My mother was very helpless at that moment. I was feeling sick, unable to communicate freely. My mother too was illiterate, so I couldn't talk. Even when I attempted to write, she could not read what I was writing." The person later escaped his early life condition when he was taken to Osuneme, a small village around the bank of River Niger. He was not given any injections, but the people said it was poison, and the people who committed the atrocity were present. The people brought water and said, "If you are sure you're not responsible for the state of health of this boy, drink this water and say, 'God, you have seen me.'" Sadly, his father's first wife and his father's elder sister were involved. He was given the same water they were given, and he vomited quite extensive different items from his abdomen. Consequently, the sickness had caused repeated change of schools for him. After attending Ebenezer African Church School, he was moved to Loyola College Ibadan before completing his secondary education at Immaculate Concept College, Benin City. He got an academic scholarship sponsored by the Nigerian Port Authority (NPA) and proceeded to study marine engineering in Poland. His studies from secondary education to university level was sponsored by Alhaji Bamanga Taku. While in Poland, he suffered another health scare, but the inspiration of his early life praised him through. He said when he got to Poland after concluding his medical examination to get into the university, he was told he was not going to live beyond the age of 35. He immediately informed his father, and he told him to have faith and confidence. He believed it was God that created him, and he had a divine mission for him. The person said he was sure and optimistic. After he went through all those challenges in his early life, and he was able to survive and live up to those time. The person returned to Nigeria in 1976 and worked as a personal assistant to Bamanga Taku, one of the general managers of the Nigerian Port Authority. He also served as a civil servant as he headed the Water Transport Division on secondment from the Nigerian Ports PLC. From 1978 to 1983, the same year he was appointed the Chief of Staff to Taku during his tenure as the governor of Gongola State during the ill-fated Second Republic. A year later, he became the managing director of African Ocean Limited from 1984 to 1988. In the early 1990s, as a result of the historic National Broadcasting Commission decree, Nigerian media was dominated by the government only. Information was made only possible by government-owned broadcasting firms. However, the head of state, then General Ibrahim Babangida, issued another decree which allowed private broadcasting in Nigeria. Dokpesi was the bravest to dip his toes in the uncharted waves. According to Kenny Ogungbe, Dokpesi's close associate and brother-in-law, he said, "We got to the US and he started buying radio equipment. I asked if he had a license. He replied, 'Don't worry.' Before we left America, he ordered the construction of Daar communication while we were still in Los Angeles. We did not have a license yet, but we started broadcasting. It was during Sani Abacha's regime. The station went off air for 6 months before it was able to get license and fully came on air September 1, 1994. According to Dokpesi, the establishment of Raypower was to bridge a lack of proper information gap created by several governments run radio service back then. 2 years after the creation of Raypower, African Independent Television (AIT) was created with more youth-centric appeal with an array of entertainment programs. Dokpesi also had his hand in politics. One of his first political assignments was a political campaign manager for the Alhaji Bamangata coup, which sought a coup into the then Gongola State Government House. He also assumed the same role during Alhaji Adamu Saroma's presidential campaign and Teko's presidential campaign in 1993, as well as during Peter Odele's presidential campaign. Dokpesi was one of the leaders of the South-South People Assembly, SSPA, an organization that seeks to promote the South-South people of Nigeria. In 2017, Dokpesi contested for the PDP national chairman position but lost to Uche Secondus. On the 4th of October 2010, Dokpesi was arrested for the alleged role in the Abuja car bombings. He was released after spending 9 hours in detention and afterwards sued the country's secret police for alleged wrongful imprisonment. On the 11th of November 2015, Dokpesi, on behalf of the PDP party, made a public apology due to the mismanagement of Nigeria under the PDP government. Dokpesi also criticized the PDP for fielding Goodluck Jonathan as the PDP's presidential candidate in March 2015 election. In 2020, Dokpesi and members of his family were hospitalized at the University of Abuja Teaching Hospital after they were diagnosed with COVID-19. Dokpesi and 2 of his grandchildren were discharged on the 14th of May 2020 after they all tested negative for remain of COVID-19. Sadly, Dokpesi died on the 29th of May 2023 at the age of 71. He fell while using a treadmill. He was said to be recovering from an undisclosed illness. There is no doubt saying that Dokpesi was such a great achiever during his lifetime.